Hola, in this video I will talk a little bit about verb to have. Verbo tener. Verbo tener. What is this verb? Well, tener means to have or to possess something, right? So I'll talk a little bit about the uses and the conjugations and all of these things. So what are the 6 forms that we use with this irregular verb? We have tengo, tienes, tiene, tenemos, tenéis, tienen. So you need to be careful with the yo form. It's a little bit different, right? It's not like a normal ER verb. It has a GO at the end. It's a little different. Tengo. And also these IE. If the stem is TEN, then now here we need to add an IE. You need to add that I right there. So just careful with the spelling. Tienes, tiene, and tienen in these 3 forms. And also careful with the accent mark on the vosotros form, EIS. Okay? So now when do we use this verb? So possession is the main thing because it means to have, right? So you would say, I have 2 cats. I have 2 black cats. Tengo 2 gatos negros. Ella tiene, she has, una computadora nueva. I didn't mention it, but I hope you know that this will be, when you put the subject, it will be I have, yo tengo, you have, tú tienes, she has, or he has, or you have, and then we have, tenemos, you guys have, in Spain, tenéis, tienen, they have. Okay? Just wanted to make sure that that's clear. And then, so possession, things that you have. ¿Qué tienes? What do you have? That means, what do you have? I have a car. Yo tengo un coche or un carro. Yo tengo una mochila. I have a backpack. Be careful because this un and una needs to agree with the noun. Tú tienes 2 hermanos. You have 2 brothers. Okay? So, for possession, things that you have. Another use for this verb is age. When you're telling your age or someone's age, you're going to be using to have and not to be. So you need to be really careful with this. You don't say, I am 20 years old. Yo soy 20? No, incorrect. It needs to be with the verb to have. Tengo 13 años. I have, but it's actually what you're saying is I am 13 years old. Tengo 13. Ellos tienen, they are 40 years old. In English, it's more like they are 40. In Spanish, it's with tienen. They have. It's got a little weird. So make sure you say años. In English, you can say they are 20. And it makes sense. But in Spanish, if you just say ellos tienen 40, you'll be like, 40 what? They have 40 what? So once you put the años, then you know that you're talking about age. Okay? So this is the main question. ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? ¿Cuántos? This is literally how many. But the whole question is, literally is how many years you have, right? But that is the same question as how old are you. So then, how old are you? ¿Cuántos años tienes? You should be able to answer this. Tengo, and then whatever your age is. And then años. Tengo 30 años. Tengo 18 años, etc. Then, this is just a little activity for you to practice. How to say I am 21? Yo tengo 21 años. Julio tiene 54 años. Martín tiene, he is 110 years old. Sebastián, so you can practice and look at these, just with different people that you know in your life, you can practice like that. Then you need to be careful with the verb to have because there is this structure that is super important. When you're saying I have to do something with a verb right after, I have to study, I have to eat, I have to go somewhere. You're going to use this structure. Tener, one of the forms of tener. If it's I have, will be tengo. And then you need to use this que. This together will be kind of like I have to. And then the main verb. I have to study, estudiar. And you don't change the ending for the second verb, okay? You do change the first form, the verb to have. Yo tengo que estudiar. I have to study. You have to talk. You have is this form, right? This is the you have. Tienes. And then que, tienes que hablar. Talk. Ella tiene que comer. She has to eat. This is how it works, okay? Tengo que estudiar para el examen de español. One example. I have to study for the Spanish exam. ¿Qué tienes que hacer este fin de semana? This is an important question that you will see it in the semester. So, ¿qué tienes? What do you have to do? The verb to do, maybe you haven't seen this before, but it's to do. So, what do you have to do this weekend? I have to, tengo que estudiar, I have to study and work. Tengo que estudiar y trabajar. Tengo que correr, tengo que escribir la composición, to write a composition. Any verbs can go right here after I have to. Okay? Cool. So yes, some examples here that you can see. Tengo que limpiar el garaje. Do you have to study? Tienes que estudiar. You have to study. We have to prepare the food. How do we say this? We have, tenemos que preparar, to prepare the food. Yeah, some more examples. What do you have to do this weekend? Try. You try. I have to study. I have to clean. I have to cook. What do you have to do? You have a lot of actions that now you can use. And finally, with tener, there are some expressions that are super important that in English, you guys use the verb to be. You'll see some examples in a second. But in Spanish, we use the verb tener. So, what are these examples? What are these expressions? One of them is I am hungry. And you would say I am, right? So in Spanish, you'd be like, ooh, that's going to be, I know that. That is yo soy. Well, nope. So, sorry. So in some of these expressions, what you do is you would use, instead of I am, you would use I have. It's a little weird, but it's how it is. It means like literally I have hunger. But there are this expression and a few others in the book. Make sure you go to your textbook and look at the other expressions. Each textbook is different. But basically, yeah, hungry, thirsty, lucky, there are other expressions. They're going to go with the verb tener. Okay? So, some of these expressions. Tener hambre. So you would say, I'm hungry. Yo tengo hambre. Sometimes you can say I'm very hungry to add in this mucha. Okay? Sometimes it can be mucha or mucho depending on how or the gender of this word. If this hambre is feminine, so you would say mucha hambre. Let's see some examples. Ana y su hermana, Ana and her sister, tienen hambre. They are hungry. That's how we would translate in English. In Spanish, it would be, they're hungry, but we kind of say they have hunger. We use the verb to have, okay? And then, yeah, same thing. Tener calor is to be hot, and we also use tener. You don't say yo soy calor. That would be wrong. It would be yo tengo calor. Tengo calor. And this is just an explanation of what I was mentioning. Mucho or mucha can go in front of the noun right here to express very. Ella tiene miedo. She's scared or she's afraid. Tener miedo is also another expression. Tener cuidado, to be careful. Tener razón is to be right. No tener razón is not to be right. Who is right? La niña tiene razón. She is right. El niño no tiene razón. He's not right. So you have this PowerPoint also in Blackboard, and you can go through all of these expressions and see. To be cold is also with tener. Yo tengo frío. Ella tiene frío. She is cold. To be thirsty with some of the examples. To be sleepy. To be in a hurry. Yeah, and like we said, with mucho or mucha, they can go in the middle, in front of the noun right there. You can see some of the examples like that with the mucho or mucha, and you will see that some of them, most of them are masculine, some of them are feminine. Not really most of them. It's kind of like half and half, like that. Okay? Perfect. And there's there's a little bit more practice at the end of this PowerPoint. You can do this later by looking at the PowerPoint. Yo tengo frío. Mis amigos tienen frío. If you don't have the PowerPoint with you or you're watching this video, make sure you ask for the PowerPoint and I'll send it to you. If you don't have it in Blackboard. Some examples. Las amigas tienen sueño. He is scared, so el señor tiene miedo. Los turistas, the tourists, tienen miedo. With different subjects, different people, the verb will be a little bit different, right? He's in a hurry. Looks like Pablo tiene prisa. Tú y Fabio, if I change it and I say you and Fabio are in a hurry, it will be tienen prisa. So just like that, some of these examples. Okay? That's it for this video. So let me know if you have any questions. Adiós.